Chapter 21. It was the biggest night of the year in New Orleans. It was Mardi Gras, and Charlotte LaBeouf was dressed for the occasion. She had on the grandest wedding gown that any Mardi Gras princess had ever worn. She rushed across the LaBeouf estate and knocked excitedly on the door of the bachelor quarters. "Prince Naveen, darling, you better hurry up. Don't want to be late for our Mardi Gras wedding." Lawrence was still his roly-poly self and fretting wildly. Getting dressed," he answered through the door. "Just a few more minutes, my dearest heart." "Okay, honey lamb," Charlotte cooed. Turning back toward the main house, she shouted out, "Daddy, start the car." "Oh, my heavens, we're doomed," Lawrence anxiously whispered to Dr. Facilier. Suddenly, a loud rattle came from the fireplace. The air chilled as Lawrence and Dr. Facilier turned and watched a swarm of ominous shadows slipping into the room. The shadows were dragging a green frog. It was Naveen. Much obliged, gentlemen," Dr. Facilier said to his shadow guests. He dared not offend his so-called friends. "Get your filthy hands off me!" Naveen yelled as Dr. Facilier grabbed him. Then the prince recognized his valet. "Lawrence!" the helpless frog exclaimed, vainly hoping for some help. "Oh, hold still, your eminence," Lawrence said as he approached the frog, ready to use Naveen to replenish the magic in his talisman. The valet had no intention of helping the froggy prince. Naveen was on his own now. Meanwhile, Tiana was watching Louis proudly marching off the riverboat with a band. Then Tiana saw Ray. "Have you seen Naveen?" she asked. "Where's your ring?" Ray blurted out in surprise. Then he stopped himself. Tiana looked intently at her little firefly friend. "What are you talking about?" Ray considered his options. Then he said cautiously, "Well, if a captain say anything, I'm not going to say anything." "Ray?" "Okay, Cap's not going to marry Charlotte," Ray blurted out. He's in love with you, and as soon as he gets himself kissed, he's going to find some whole other way to get you that restaurant." "Uh-oh, I said too much." "You said just enough, Ray," Tiana exclaimed as she raced off to find Naveen. Ray followed her. They reached the torchlit parade making its way down Canal Street. Huge floats of pirates and Arabian genies were being pulled by mules. Costumed revelers threw shiny colored beads into the cheering crowds. "Now," Ray asked loudly, "what are we all looking for again?" "You just keep your eyes out for the biggest, gaudiest float with the Mardi Gras princess about to kiss herself a frog." Ray nodded. Soon enough, a huge wedding cake float came down the street. On top was Charlotte dressed in her fabulous white gown, but next to her was no frog. Tiana froze. It was Prince Naveen, dashing, handsome, and human, and he was going to marry Charlotte. Somehow he must have already kissed her and become human, leaving Tiana to live the rest of her life as a frog. Ray looked at poor Tiana. She was crushed. She ran from the parade, not knowing that the prince on the float was really Lawrence. She just saw herself staying a frog forever, and living a life without Naveen. With nowhere else to go, she sadly hopped into the city's old cemetery. Ray flew through the wrought iron gates and tried to comfort her. "I know what we saw with our eyes," he said, nodding, but if we just go back there, we're going to find out your fairy tale has come true." "Just because you wish for something doesn't make it true," Tiana said finally. It's like my Evangeline always says to me," Tiana interrupted, looking up at the sky. "Evangeline is nothing but a star, Ray. A big ball of hot air 1,000,000 miles from here," she yelled. "Open your eyes now before you get hurt." She hopped away, leaving Ray alone. Ray looked up at the evening star as tears welled up in his eyes. "She's just speaking out of a broken heart. That's all it is. Come on, Evangeline," he said, sticking out his tiny chin. We're going to show her the truth.